Glory to Ukraine, you are on the War and Politics 24 channel, and this is a new rubric which called Battle Map. Here we'll be looking at everything that is happening on the battlefield using a DeepState map live. It is an open source intelligence interactive online map of the military operations of the Russian and Ukrainian armies during the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So let's start with Russian territory. A military transport aircraft, the Tu-134, was set on fire in Russia. The Soviet-era plane is used, among other things, for transporting senior officials of the Ministry of Defense of the terrorist state, according to the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, DIU. According to DIU, the aircraft belonged to the 117th Military Transport Aviation Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces and was stationed at the military airfield Orenburg 2nd. Let's see, where is it? So we have here is territory of Ukraine, and also we can see Orenburg region. It's approximately 1,000 kilometers. Currently, no further details about the situation are disclosed. Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, there have been increasing incidents of arson at military facilities in Russia, including helicopters and aircraft. About the situation in the Kursk region. The Kursk region is here, and the Kursk operation still continues. The Kursk operation continues, but we have tragic news. Russian forces have executed 9 Ukrainian prisoners of war in Kursk region in Russia. It's here. Reported by DeepState, a group of military analysts. About details, the group cites sources in the 1st Separate Tank Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The Russians are known to have executed Ukrainian troops near the village of Zeleny Shlyakh. Analysts highlight that Ukrainian troops advanced to their positions under the impression that they were in a relatively safe area, only to encounter Russian forces. They were compelled to respond, but ultimately surrendered due to a shortage of ammunition. Quote, the situation in Kursk region is not so good in general. The defense forces are taking stabilization measures, but it is extremely difficult to recover what has been lost. We have discussed the situation with other officers and commanders in different areas. UAV crews should take the possibility of the enemy breaking through to their positions more seriously and not neglect security. ISW has recently observed an increase in Russian forces executing Ukrainian posts throughout the theater, and Russian commanders are likely writ large condoning, encouraging, or directly ordering the execution of Ukrainian posts. The Ukrainian prosecutor's officer similarly announced that it had launched an investigation into the execution reports on the same day. Also, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, says that Russians have attempted to push back Ukrainian troops from their positions in Russia's Kursk region, but Ukrainian defense forces are holding their designated lines. Now we will see what is happening on the battlefield in Ukraine. So Russia loses another 1,260 soldiers over one day. The General Staff has reported that Russia has lost more than 670,000 soldiers killed and wounded since the start of the full-scale invasion, while the Ukrainian Defense Forces have destroyed over 90,400 artillery systems, over 70,800 armored personnel carriers, and 8,975 tanks, reported by General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Over the past day, 161 combat engagements took place along the front line, most of them on the Pokrovsk and Kurakhove front, reported by General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Facebook. Information as of 8 a.m. on 14th October. Details. On the Kharkiv front, fighting took place near Staritsa. It's here, we will see. And there were 90 combat clashes on the Kupiansk front. Kupiansk front, let's see, is here. And There were 90 combat clashes on the Kupiansk front near Petropavlivka, Pishane, Vishneve, Kopanki, and Lozova. According to the updated information, the Russians conducted 90 attacks on the Liman front. Let's see. It's here, Liman. And near the settlements of Rakivka, Druzhelyubivka, Novosadova, Nevsky, Terny, and Torske. And also 3 combat clashes took place on the Kramatorsk front. Let's see where it is. It's approximately here, Kramatorsk. And in the areas of Chasiv Yar and Stupachki. Chasiv Yar is here. Let's see. Chasiv Yar and Stupachki. And also, the Russian military conducted 4 attacks on the Terezk front near the towns of Terezk and Sherbinivka. Let's see where is Terezk front. Is here. Terezk. And Ukrainian defenders repelled 25 hostile attacks on the Pokrovsk front near Suhy Yar, Lysivka, Promeny, and Selidova. Pokrovsk front is... Ukrainian defenders repelled 25 hostile attacks on the Pokrovsk front. It's here, Pokrovsk. Front near Suhy Yar, Lysivka, Promeny, and Selidova. Russia is suffering enormous losses of personnel in the hottest direction, the Donetsk region. Hospitals overflow with Russian wounded soldiers, according to the attached partisan movement. An agent from the 30th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade reported catastrophic losses for the aggressor in the Pokrovsk direction. And every day, brigades set new records. In just one day, up to 50 individuals in their brigade are wounded or killed. Hospitals and medical facilities are overwhelmed, forcing the urgent discharge of civilians to make room for injured invaders. This information was confirmed by an agent among the medical staff of one of the hospitals in temporarily occupied Makiivka. According to him, the occupation authorities continue to ignore the needs of civilians to save their soldiers. Ukrainians are being evicted from hospitals to admit Russian soldiers, the report states. Ukrainian Defense Forces repelled 39 Russian attacks on the Krakow front. Krakow, we can see it's here. Krakow. Near Жлане, Друге, Кремена Балка, Ізмаїлівка, Новоселідівка, Курахівка, Гірник, Максимілянівка, Костянтинівка, and Katerynivka. Also, the Russian military attacked twice near Zolota Niva on the Vremivka front. Let's see where it is, Zolota Niva. And near Zolota Niva, we can see Vuhledar. Vuhledar is here. The Washington Post, with reference to the Ukrainian military, reported that illegal Starlink terminals from the American company SpaceX are contributing to Russia's advance on the battlefield in Ukraine, particularly during the seizure of Vuhledar, Donetsk region. According to the Washington Post, the Ukrainian army used to have a significant advantage over the numerically superior and better armed Russians in terms of internet connection via Starlink terminals, but the Russians now use it as well. Starlink's illegal terminals let Russians use satellite internet to increase coordination during assaults, launch more drone sorties, and strike Ukrainian troops with precise artillery attacks. A prohibition on the sale of American electronics to Moscow includes Starlink terminals, which allow commanders to monitor the battlefield in real time using drones and provide secure communication between military units. The Russian troops tried unsuccessfully to push the Ukrainian Armed Forces units near Robotine and Mala Tokmachka on the Oryhov front 3 times. Let's see where it is. Oryhov front, Mala Tokmachka, and Robotine. Russian troops attempted to attack Ukrainian defensive lines on the Pridniprovsky front 8 times. The situation on the Gulay-Pole front remains unchanged. Analysts from the Institute for the Study of War have noted that Russian forces have resumed offensive operations at the border of Donetsk and Zaporizhia regions and have achieved some tactical successes. However, this currently does not appear to be part of a larger-scale operational offensive effort. About details, Russian forces have recently resumed tactical offensive operations along the border areas of Donetsk and Zaporizhia regions and achieved some localized gains. However, these attacks do not seem to be part of a border operational offensive aimed at supporting the wider Russian offensive in Western Donetsk region. Quote from ISW: "These tactical gains are not the result of a sudden or unexpected Russian breakthrough." About details. In early October, Russian forces resumed activity in a previously quiet sector of the front near the village of Kamensk in western Zaporizhia region, south of Stepnohirsk. And however, these efforts have been limited, leading to only minor tactical gains. It is possible that Russian forces are reactivating in these areas of Ukraine's south to divert Ukrainian attention from their main offensive operations in Donetsk region, aiming to pin down Ukrainian troops along the southern front and prevent them from being redeployed to support the defense in Donetsk. Also, the Russians have fired 177 times on 9 settlements in the Zaporizhia region and attacked populated areas with 84 drones or various modifications over the past day, reported by Ivan Fedorov, head of the Zaporizhia region military administration, on Telegram. Guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for supporting Ukraine. Like and subscribe.